All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Club Pro Chatter, Season 6, Episode 1. We're counting the golf champions, especially since I wasn't there, not golf champions, excuse me, the golf show as kind of an add-on event. So this is our inaugural premiere, kickoff, you name it. Kailey, Tone, Scotty, good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good morning. Doing good.
Going well.
Ready to go.
Scotty's in full Masters gear. He's going to wear green all week. Actually, I did notice first round of the NCO, which we've talked about a lot on these shows. Scott wore a green on green on green. I thought he was Matt Kuchar out there, but it was, I've never seen so many different colors of green on one person, but he pulled it off somehow.
It was a very leprechaun. I call that the leprechaun look.
But before we get into what we did in the off season, could you two, Kailey and Tone, could you guys comment of what do you guys think of the tone on tone on tone? I mean, I do a lot of gray on gray on gray. What do you think of that look?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can speak on this personally. I feel like I'm seasoned to this look because of my dad. He likes to do a little blue on blue on blue, and he calls it the color rush, like in the NFL.
Tone, do you ever pull off the old same colors?
I've tried. I think the blue I've done. I also am colorblind, so whatever colors go on, we'll just hope that they match.
And if they don't in today's world, it doesn't matter. You ever notice that? I mean, nobody cares anymore.
Besides my mom, Kailey's one that will tell me if something doesn't match.
Yeah. Yeah, but who cares? Right, Scotty?
We know you don't. That's very apparent. We know you don't care.
It doesn't matter at this point. I mean, you see all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, the new fad, even in college women's basketball, is one leg with full legging and the other with nothing.
And rolled up shorts.
Does anybody care about, I mean, seriously, do whatever you want to do. You want to wear red on red on red on red? Go for it. Right?
Apparently.
Sounds like a very Valentine's Day look to me.
Kailey, when was our last official show? Was that November or October?
Oh gosh, I think
season 5.
Yeah,
that was in December.
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
So we've had 4 months kind of apart from each other. Tell us what you guys did golf wise in the off season. Scott, you want to start? You want to tell about your skiing episode?
Yeah, we can start there. So, as far as golf related.
It's golf related.
No, I'm just trying to. I haven't played much golf. We went to the merchandise show. Ripstick did. Didn't play any golf. Went to Palm Springs with Julie for a little work conference. That was a nice little getaway. Did play some golf. And then a week after that, I went skiing in Lutsen. Buddy's trip that we've went a bunch of different places, and kind of the last run of the day, I maybe got a little aggressive and took a trail a turn that I probably couldn't have made even when I was 20, and I'm not 20, and lost my edge. Ski popped up, ran into a tree, separated my shoulder, and thought maybe I was dead for a minute there, got up and I was okay, and told Greg I couldn't play in the NCO, and he pretty much, as you could expect, he was very happy with me and said I was a bunch of things that I can't say on this podcast. And just started rehab, and you know what? I felt pretty good after hitting balls 10 days later. So I went out there and played in Colorado, and it was okay. I didn't play great, but played so well that Greg beat me by 1. So he's got that up on me to start this season. And and then I was just down in New Mexico. Yeah, I had 4 feet up the hill to beat him by 1. I thought we were tied, and I missed it. And there you go. Greg beat me by 1.
He thought we were tied. He thought it was for the win, you guys. Little did he know he needed it for the tie, and he bricked it.
After you bricked it first.
Yeah, but I hit my putt after that. I had like a 3.5 footer because my first putt was so bad.
Yeah, so it's good for Greg. He needed that, he's needed that. And then I was just in New Mexico scouting out the courses for the PPC last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And now I'm just hoping to see grass before I fly out April 26th. So knock on wood. Who knows if we'll see it.
Tone, Kailey, what'd you guys do all winter? Give us some updates on you guys.
I went on a couple trips. I went to Vegas with some friends, and then I went obviously to the show, the PGA show in Florida, which was fun. Got some golf in. That's the only golf I've really done this off season. One funny one this off season. I'm now featured on Netflix on Full Swing in one of the episodes. So, you can see me in one or two of the scenes. So, it was pretty fun to watch when I saw that.
Really?
It's a very short clip, but I'm there when they're talking about the 3M Open when one of them is on the tee.
So I got through part of episode 1, fell asleep, woke up in episode 3 because you guys know Netflix just keeps kicking them. And so I'm like, oh no, episode 3, I had to shut it off and I haven't got back yet. So I'll have to keep an eye on that.
So side note, the Ripstick made an appearance in Full Swing when Ian Poulter loses in the match play and he's in the locker room and he's throwing stuff everywhere. One of the things he tosses is a black Ripstick. So the Ripstick and U-Tone are guest stars on Full Swing. So congrats. There's a chance for you with an Emmy.
And I even got a Ripstick now. So, full supporter.
Yes.
Kailey, anything fun for you?
Oh, I loved Full Swing. I will say that. Me and my sister watched all of it together. Huge Joel Damon fan now. Loved that episode. But also, I just got to take a couple trips to warmer weather. Mexico was fun for a week. And yeah, just now getting excited to actually get outside.
Well, I, as you guys know, took a new job, so that's kind of exciting, but it's also stressful. Probably the most stressed I've been in a few years. So the NCO was good for me to get away for a little bit, even though that was stressful. As maybe many heard, I drove on some closed roads to get to the Sioux Falls airport that day, which was about 2 weeks ago. Found out that's $1,000 fine, so somehow avoided that.
Well, now it's out there. You're in trouble.
Well, they can come back and get me. I mean, I was definitely on it for one was about 6 miles, and then I was like, this doesn't feel right. Then I took some back roads that were not closed, that should have been closed, but I don't know how that all works. So, anyways, yeah, if they want to come get me, they sure can, because I had to get there, Scotty. As you know, I was trying to beat you, and mission accomplished. You were injured for the first 2 rounds, then you magically healed up for the last 2 rounds, and started playing normal Scott McDonald golf. So that was a highlight. That I don't know. What do you think it attributed to? Why you magically got healthy?
There was no magic. It was getting loose and fighting through it, Greg. Okay.
Well, you guys,
he's used to it.
I think he went 79, 83, and then 72, 72 or something like that. Does that sound right, Scott?
73, 72.
Oh, I missed it by 1. Magical healing.
Yeah, magic. Me and my green outfit at Magic, my Lucky Charms heal me.
Yeah, well, that's a good segue into our next topic, which is the first and foremost. Scott, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do your little bit of rant about the PPC in April. Now, obviously, I'm staring out at my golf course right now, and we're looking like about 2-3 weeks away, which would put us about the 20th. That should give you a good week to possibly get ready for the biggest tournament of the year for you. And we think 8 others for sure from our section, and possibly a 9th, depending on how the alternate situation goes. So do your little bit of rant and then give us an update as to where we stand on this PPC coming up.
Yeah, so PPC first round, April 30th through May 3rd, down at Twin Warriors, Albuquerque, New Mexico. I think
Santa Ana.
And
are they on
Santa
the same
Ana.
site?
They're pretty much on the same road, 5 minutes apart.
Okay.
So separate facilities, but right next to each other. So Twin Warriors hosted PPCs in the past, and recently hosted the senior PGA or the senior PPC this fall, where Derek Stendhal made it through and is going to play in the senior PGA at PGA Frisco in I think in May. So anyways, they switched, what was it, Greg? Probably 5-6 years ago that they switched it to end of April.
Yeah, I think it's been 4 PGAs now, hasn't it? That been maybe only 3. I would have to look that up. Maybe Tone, could you check that for us while we're beating this up as to how many years it's been? But go ahead.
But so it's, and there was a lot of pushback from the northern courses, and obviously a lot of pushback from the championship courses for the PGA Championship, because Hazeltine's not going to host another PGA Championship if it's in May. And this is kind of the last one that I think was booked prior to, because this one's in Rochester, New York at Oak Hill, which who knows how much snow they've got up there. Pretty similar climate to us. So I know that the PGA's mindful of it. They're monitoring the situation, doing everything they can to get it in championship condition prior to. But so this is, I think it's about, on average, it's about every other year that we've got, seems like now a late start or an early start. It seems like we've had more late starts in Minnesota the last couple. So it's just difficult for a lot of us to get the game in midseason form when you can't get out on grass. So you're taking trips or you're hitting in the simulator or doing anything you can. There'll be 8 of us made it through the section championship at Minnewaska. Those 8, John Rigstead, myself, Andy Smith, Johnny Schwaller, Corey Johnson, Chris Borgen, George Smith, Thomas Campbell. So we got through that. We had 8. Brent Snyder got first alternate. Last I checked 2 days ago, he was second on the alternate list. So very good.
Just clarify, Scotty, first alternate for Minnesota, but second overall right now, and that's in 41 sections of alternates.
Correct.
So again, just to clarify what that looks like.
Yes, it's so there's a pretty good chance that Brent's going to get in. So we're watching that pretty closely. Obviously, Brent went down with me last week and scoped it out just in case. And we'll wait and see when and hopefully he gets in. And then lo and behold, we get one other one getting in. They added this a couple of years ago in the Stroke Play Championship in the winter. The top 2 non-exempt ones that have not qualified for the PPC in the Stroke Play get exemptions into the PPC. Jeff Sorensen goes down to Florida, plays a lot of the events during the winter championships in the stroke or in the tournament series. Jeff played great. I think he finished like 8th or 9th, Greg, and ended up getting the 2nd spot for the PPC. I mean, it's a remarkable accomplishment. As far as I know for sure, there hasn't been a Minnesotan who's gotten through that way before. So I texted Jeff and super happy for him. And I know he's excited, obviously, to have a chance to get back to another PGA championship. So there's 9 of us going, possibly 10, based on, what happens with Brent and the alternate list. But I think
Scotty, did Brent say he's going no matter what, and he'll just wait down there and see what happens?
Haven't gotten to that yet. So I think the official closing date for the championship, I think you've got to be registered by the end of this week, April 7th. So then that will say, okay, here, either you're registered or you're not. And then for sure, and then it would have to be something, say, who knows what would happen, that you'd either run into a tree skiing, or who knows, like that you can't make it, So that's where we're at right now. So we'll see. Hopefully Brent gets in. I'm actually pulling up the alternate list right now. Let me see. Alternate list. Alternate list as of today. Number 1 position, Brent Snyder.
Wow. So he moved up a spot from just when you started talking to now.
Yeah. Well, so the entry deadline is April 5th. So 2 days. So Brent will know probably by then if he's in. And then if he isn't, something out of the ordinary is going to happen.
And Scotty, we were talking offline that with the late starts for most of Northern Hemisphere USA, we could see a bunch of people. I think it could go as far down as 15th, 20th on the alternate list. I mean, there's just some people where they just aren't going to be able to get away, especially if they wanted a quick start. And I can see that being a thing. So I would think it's very comfortable for Brent to get in, but who knows? Stranger things have happened.
So a couple of things on that. Brent started, after all the section championships were done, 24th on the alternate list.
Yeah.
And guess who was 19th and just got in? Honey Creek.
Oh, Fisher.
Darren Fisher was the first alternate. Remember, I think we were at the golf show a couple of years ago and he was on the alternate list. I don't think he got in that year, but this year he did. So
good for him. Good for you guys. Okay, Scotty, quick recap. You were just down there. Give us a 2-minute preview of the golf courses.
Yeah. Twin Warriors, big golf course. I think 7,700 yards, a lot of long par 4s. Yeah. Also at elevation. So as you know, being that you just played in Colorado, Albuquerque, I think elevation is like 3,000. So, well, actually it's elevation, Albuquerque, 5,300. So it's pretty similar to Colorado, 10% less. So 7,700 yards, still a long way, but not as long as, sea level. So Twin Warriors, big ballpark, obviously it's desert, miss the fairway. Fairways are generous, green structures, some complexities to them. Biggest thing, when we played Twin Warriors, there was no wind. The wind is going to be the biggest factor on those golf courses. We played Santa Ana when we got in, 45 degrees and a 30-mile-an-hour wind. A little cold, I would say. But Santa Ana is a little bit tighter. I wouldn't say it's targety. And the green structures aren't as complex, and the golf course isn't as long as Twin Warriors. But I think both, it'll be a good test, and for sure, the wind's going to dictate the scoring. If it's calm 4 days, guys could probably light it up pretty good. If it's windy, scores are going to be high. And I think that's ultimately what happened in that senior is the final round, the winds switched. It got cold. And you look at some of the scores from the final round, and remember texting with Stendhal, and he's like, there was only 2-3 guys out of 90, Greg, that broke par. So yeah, it got tough.
Okay, Scott, break down the numbers again. 300 and some competitors.
312.
Okay, I put down 316. I couldn't quite remember.
I think it's 312.
Okay.
But top 90 in ties make the cut. There's a secondary cut.
What traditionally has been the numbers? I know it's different every time. I get it. But has it been even par?
It's usually, but here's the thing. It's such a big field that 1 or 2 over might make the cut. And those people that are on that cut line make it to the PGA Championship because it's so tight. Because traditionally, what makes it to the PGA, if you shoot even par for 4 rounds, you're going to the PGA Championship, or you're in a playoff for it.
Well, good luck down there, buddy. Hopefully it goes well for you guys, and hopefully your shoulder is not as messed up as it was 3 weeks ago.
Feels a lot better. It gets better each day. Just
well, we know when the magic healing was. It was Sunday down in Colorado, because Friday and Saturday you were still messed up. But Sunday, magically, the shoulder started working for you.
Well, it's just, maybe it was the magic because those 2 rounds I played with you.
Oh, that is true. And what did I say to you on the 8th hole on the last day?
What did you say?
I leaned over in the golf cart to you and I said, I never want to play with you again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do remember that. Yet we're going to play together, I think, in a couple of weeks at the Pro and Dakota chapter opener.
Let's pray that happens, Scotty. That's April 24th. I believe that's a Monday. What is that, 3 weeks from today?
Yeah.
Let's pray it happens, buddy.
Yep.
Last year we got canceled out, but I don't think that was because of snow. I think we just ended up with bad cold weather during that stretch.
It was like 35 degrees,
which can happen again. All right, let's move on to a quick topic, and I'm hoping Tone can jump in because I want to start with Tone if he's around and able to join us here for what we consider the hot button topic. If you remember in years past, it was the anchoring of the putter or using long putters. Well, Jack Nicklaus' dream has come true. He's been screaming this for 10 years plus about the rollback of the golf ball. He thinks that that's the number one issue with the game, and it's causing golf courses to be lengthened, which causes more agronomy issues and things of that nature, more water, tons of more resources being put into the game. But this presents an existential problem for those of us who run events, especially if you run something like a Pro-Am, something that maybe the amateur doesn't need less yardage, but the top pro guys. So Tone, let's start with you on this. What's been your gut reaction for the golf ball rollback issue that is seems to be very prevalent right now as to what they're going to do?
It's my initial reaction is I'm not that big a fan of it. Ultimately, if that's what they decide to do and it gets implemented, we got to follow it. But my initial reaction is, I hear the argument of the pros are playing the same thing as the AMs. And, when you go to an event to watch these top tier players, one of the things is, well, how long they're hitting it and how they play it differently, how aggressive they can be. And now suddenly you're going to scale them back. It may not, it's just going to, I don't know, it'd be a little different. But I guess my initial reaction is I'm not a fan.
Scotty?
Yeah, I get why they're looking at it. I get why people have been calling for it, but I agree. To me, it's going to be difficult. It opens a can of worms, not to mention when you're talking major championships, if, there's a lot of logistical things because not everybody that is playing on the PGA Tour plays on it all the time. There's AMs that Monday qualify. There's club pros that get through PGA qualifiers or the PPC to play in a PGA Championship or US Open or whatever. So all these logistical things that need to be ironed out. And I mean, from a selfish perspective, it brings a lot of older golf courses into play for major championships, and the places like a Hazeltine National that has this room to make it bigger and tougher might get overlooked now for major championships because it's bringing in all these other courses that are shorter and have kind of, the game has passed it by. But I don't know. I mean, initially I'm not for it. But you know, it's all very, very early on as well.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement then with this, and I think this is probably where the PGA of America stands. Because we stood on this with the long putter. If we kept saying the game is for the amateur game is huge, and if we're going to try to do something just to change the top tour guys, it's going to be very difficult to set down, especially when people. I mean, what's the number one thing in lesson? Oh, I want to gain 10 yards. Why did the ripstick come into play? Oh, going to help people gain yardage, right? I mean, that's the number one deal, really, for a ripstick, and so it works, and it's things that happen. But now all of a sudden you're going to do all this stuff, and you're going to roll back a golf ball, which doesn't need to be rolled back for the amateur game. I mean, we're seeing that. I also think that people are seeing this wrong. I love the U.S. Open type events where it's even par. Other people love the 24 under, birdie, 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 birdie. Again, to each their own. I don't know that there's a right or wrong way. I do believe Jack Nicklaus has a point with the agronomy. I do believe that some of these ballparks, you know, they feel like they got to stretch them out, but that's okay. Let them stretch out if they need to. Those of us who are 6,300, 6,400, we'll just let the course stand on its own. And if we want to make it tougher, you can always make a harder pin. You can always have the greens a little slicker. You can always pull the out of bounds just a little bit further into the golf course. There's just some things that you can do if you want to, and make it a little bit more difficult for people. So I think we're probably all in agreement that we'll just go with whatever is being told to us. But if we had a vote, we would say leave it. We're good, right? Any final comments on that from you guys?
You just say that, you know, when you're watching like a tour event or anything, it's like all entertainment. And, you know, you want to see low scores and all that. And why do you watch the majors is because that's like the toughest conditions that these players go through. So, you know, I guess, like you said, if you want to make the tour events, if that's the issue because they're shooting 30 under, make them a little tougher, make them harder pins, a little faster greens or something like that. Seems like a little better solution to me, but.
Yeah, Tone, we've seen round to round things change. Augusta's the greatest example. They can change it like that and how they want it to play. If they say, whoa, too easy, toughen it up, let's go. They just do some different things to make it. I mean, they go as far as how they mow the golf course. You know, I mean, nobody understands that at the Master, they've gotten to where they always mow it so that you're hitting into the green, so it doesn't run out as far. That's something that they push. And so it's like, people, there's so many things you can do with the agronomy of it that we don't need to really touch these manufacturers, because it could get ugly with you trying to figure out, okay, is this ball legal? Is this one not legal? What do we have going on here? I can't see it being a clean break or a clean solution. So
no, I would agree there. Hey, let's narrow the fairways. And you know, the biggest thing, honestly, that I think we could do in the game of golf, especially at the professional level, let's make the bunkers bunkers. We are so just hardwired now that we think we should have a perfect lie in a bunker. As far as I'm concerned, bunkers were created and they were pretty much just holes of mud, and nobody got a perfect lie. Greg, think about the NCO. We're complaining about, well, we're in a footprint. You know, we need a drop. You know, it's just like the tour players are so much better out of bunkers than they are out of thick rough. Let's make bunkers actually bunkers. That would be one way to make it tougher.
Tone, that was a direct shot at our buddy Tony Janu, who came after the rules committee about a bunker play. And it's well noted that again, it's a hazard more or less. It's not a penalty area, but it used to be called a hazard. And now you're right. The pros always say, get in the bunker,
Yeah.
Good players, because they know they can predict that lie. So very good point on that. All right, let's move on. We only got a short window here, so we're gonna get on. Kailey, come on in. We're gonna talk a little Masters. My favorite week of the year, other than the fact that I like to actually play golf during the Masters, like in the morning or whatever, and then sit down and watch some, watch the action. But that's not going to happen this year. So we're just going to sit in front of our TVs and soak it all in. I have a rule now that other than this podcast, all meetings will be 5 minutes this week. Do we have anything like that at the Minnesota section?
Not yet, but it's something we should implement.
Yeah.
I'll look to our vice president.
Maybe the VP can add that in. We got to cut down the time so people can watch. So intriguing Masters to me, you guys. Before we get into our predictions, let's talk a little bit about it. I think it could arguably be the most controversy-filled Masters in a long time. You people all sit where they want to sit on the side of the fence of live, not live. Are they the villains? Are there nobody sees them as really good guys, but are they hated so much that you cheer for the good guys? I did the Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker kind of comparison in another radio show, and it just feels like it's adding to the adrenaline and the excitement, and I find myself, hate to say it, halfway cheering for the live guys because I need them to get world ranking points so that I can see them play with the best players more often. I want all the best players playing together, and as they drop in the world ranking points, we're not going to get that. Golf fans are going to get robbed of this. So I find myself doing this. Scotty, you shake your head. Are you cheering against all 17 live guys?
Well, you can watch them on the CW anytime you want.
That's right. When they're on.
Yeah, and by the way, their coverage is absolutely horrendous. They can't even follow a golf ball with a camera. But anyways, how much do you think that is in the back of these live players' minds? There is a ton of pressure, especially on the players that don't have majors, that are sinking in the world golf rankings, the Joaquin Niemans, the Abe Answers, the Carlos Ortizes, that are great players that keep falling because they don't have a major championship under their belt. Cam Smith is safe. Koepka's safe for a couple of years. And some of those guys are safe in the majors that they've won. Obviously, the Masters champs are exempt for life. But how much pressure is on those fringe guys this week? Oh, tons. Yeah. So that is going to be the one I'm going to watch, is those players like that. But I'm going to tell you right now, all these live players are kind of off the radar of the average golfers now. Like, people don't realize Cam Smith won the last major that happened, the Open Championship. Nobody's seen him since. Well, he played through the Tour Championship. He was essentially the number one player in the world, or right there. And he's finished in the top 10 in the Masters, I think, probably top 5 3 times. He should be a favorite for this event, but who knows if he's going to be, because he's on live and nobody knows about it or remembers it. So, correct. I agree, Greg. I like the evil empire and the Rebel Alliance that is the PGA Tour. I've always been a fan of the Rebel Alliance. The Rebel Alliance are the good guys. Unlike Liv, Darth Vader and Emperor Snoke and, Palpatine. And we can dive deep into Star Wars if you want. But anyways, I agree. It is going to be interesting. And, oh, by the way, it's the return of your favorite player of all time, Phil Mickelson, to Augusta National. Is he going to be on all black? And are we going to see his eyes, or are we just going to see the shades from Top Gun all week? Yep.
And a scruffy face. Those guys, they don't shave anymore. They're playing the part perfectly. Anyways. Come on, let's let Tone and Kailey have a chance. Stop talking. Tone, what are you thinking?
I think that just came up to my, because I think when the live guys, they primarily wear all their team stuff. Like, are they going to be wearing that when they're playing in this tournament? Like, are they, because that's like their brand. That's like what they signed up for.
Yeah.
You know, they got to promote.
They're going to have to wear pants, Tone.
It's going to be a
We
hard
know
change.
Yeah.
I'm just be curious to see if Phil's going to be wearing his High Flyers hat and all that, because he doesn't really have any sponsors anymore.
Right. Yeah, they don't need them.
So
they don't.
I would be interested to see if Augusta could do this, where they would say you can't have any of that material or say what you could wear. They could possibly ban that. But so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, but they've already decided they're not going to be petty.
Well,
they've already made
we'll
that
see.
decision. Yeah. So we'll see if they change on that. But I think that's the big thing right now. It's all these little things are like even the broadcast. I'm interested to see how they handle this.
Yeah.
Are they going to pull away from those live guys? You know, look, if somebody's 4 under and a non-live guy's 4 under, you know, they're going to show the non-live guy probably. And I'm very interested in seeing this. Whereas we as golf fans, I would think we'd want to see everybody. But again, we know Tiger's going to be showing a lot, and that's understandable. Kailey, we want to give you a shot here.
Well, I'm excited for all the stuff that people are going to try and interpret on TikTok. Like TikTok is actually kind of fun to watch. Of people will try and guess of who's saying what to who and what they say. So I'll kind of be tuning into that stuff, I guess.
All right. I think we're all going to be glued to it. It's kind of paramount to our jobs because this is the start. Are you guys part of any Masters drafts besides this one?
Oh yeah.
Family one, and we got an office pool here at the section.
Oh yeah. Let's go. Okay, so this one is not going to have quite the implications of that. So Scotty, do you want the 3rd pick in the draft or the 4th pick in the draft? I'm willing to take whichever one you don't want.
I'll take 4th since I was the greatest Nostradamus of picking last year. I'll give you guys a good chance here.
And Tone or Kailey, what would you guys like? 1 or 2? You guys get to pick between the 2 of you.
I'll get 1, Kailey.
Kailey's got 1?
I got 1.
Okay, Tone, the only problem with 1 is then you have 8 as well. So that's the issue, but you do get 9. So, and the field is deep this year. Okay, ground rules for this year for Nostradamus is total money. Doesn't matter win or loss. So again, if you get the winner, you're probably in good shape. But if you get 2nd and 3rd, you might. And Scott, we still haven't heard what the purse is. Is that correct?
That's correct. That will be the bomb that gets dropped this week and will set essentially the bar for all the other majors. I think the PGA for sure is waiting to hear what it is, being the next major and making sure that we're in line with what Augusta sets it at.
Yeah, we heard that last year that they're kind of like, well, we're not going to be a major if we don't pump it. And I think they kicked in an extra 4 or 5 million right off the top. And again, it's not something they could find with the sponsors. So I did see that they upped the price of ultras last year to $17 a pop at the tournament. I think maybe that was going to go towards the purse because ultra I can get into the clubhouse here for $1.13. So if I'm selling it for 17, that's a pretty nice margin. All right, Tone, first pick of the 2023 most exciting Masters I can recall in recent history because of all the stuff surrounding. Fire away.
I'm torn on the first pick, but I think I got to go with the defending champion. He's been playing pretty well. Scotty Scheffler.
Dirty dog. He took mine.
Yeah, I took him on my radio show this morning to repeat, so he was going to be my pick at number 3, and you stole that one from me. So, Kailey, fire away.
I'll go with Mr. Rory. That'd be fun.
All right, the Masters choker, not bad.
Maybe not this time.
All right, I am not cheering for this guy, so I hate doing these picks. I usually only pick guys that I cheer for, but I am not cheering for this guy at all. But I have to pick him in this slot, and it's Jon Rahm.
I thought for sure you were going to pick DeChambeau. You picked him in every single pool last year.
Scott, you got picks number 4 and 5.
2 picks for me. First live guy off the field, Cam Smith.
No. Okay, all right.
Guy puts too well.
You're not cheering for him.
No, I'm not, but I've got him in another one. Next, I'm going to go off script a little bit. This guy's been playing great.
You sometimes do this.
And he also has a great track record at Augusta. I'm going to pick Jason Day.
A late exemption. What was it? Was it 3 days ago?
Yeah, he got in after the match play, I think.
Oh, it wasn't that long ago. That shocked me. All right. Here we go. I'm up next here with the 6th pick in the 2023. Oh my goodness, you guys. This field is stacked this year. It's just stacked.
It's stacked every year. Come on.
No, not like this, Scott. You just scroll down. Literally, I can pick any of these guys all the way down to, I think, the 23rd in this list is like Victor Hovland.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. Oh, I'm gonna go with.
Bryson DeChambeau?
No, I think I'm gonna go with Justin Thomas.
JT.
Not proud of it. All right, Kailey. The 7th pick.
I'm gonna go with Mr. Tom Hoagie.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Why? Because it'd be fun. Sure.
We like Tom. Tom's a good dude. Tone, you got picks number 8 and 9.
I was thinking JT, but my backup to JT was Mr. Colin Morikawa.
Okay.
Did you guys think Colin came off as a little bit of a whiner in full swing?
Yeah.
I've not seen that episode.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
I'll reserve judgment when I see him.
Kailey,
yes.
We're talking about wardrobe, and he's like, I won't wear those pants.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, no, I did see that. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
If he went to live, he could wear shorts.
My next pick, I got to do it. Mr. Tiger Woods.
He had to.
Okay. Kailey was going to pick him if you didn't. So.
Name I recognize.
I'm staring at a name right here.
Max Homa.
Ooh, I like that one. He likes the H's. Who else is she going to pick? Brian Harman, Russell Henley?
Sure.
Okay.
Mackenzie Hughes?
I was going to pick a guy in this spot, but I think he's going to be available in 4 picks because.
Yeah, no, he isn't.
Scotty's behind me.
Justin Rose again? You will love picking Justin Rose at the Masters.
So I do love Justin Rose at Masters. I do. I fully admit that. But I am going to go with recency bias is Mr. Burns.
Sam Burns. Played great at the match play.
Hey, Scotty, you got your last 2 picks.
Yeah, I know Tone's going to be mad because he loves this guy, Jordan Spieth. Putt's great. I'm going to pick guys that just putt the lights out of it.
Are you picking him?
Yeah, I'm picking Jordan Spieth. And then there's a couple of good players up there that have some success. Yeah,
there's a ton.
Loaded. This is loaded.
It's loaded. The defending champion is not off the board. Or, I mean, the 2 years ago champion is not off the board.
Yeah. So I'm going to go off script again on this one. Guy that is playing great. He's got a new caddy. He's actually going to stick to the course management strategy, has the power
Zach
to
Johnson?
eat this place up. I'm going to go Cam Young. Greg doesn't even know who he is.
Did he make 10 straight threes in the match play?
It's pretty impressive.
I thought one of those was a concede or something like that, but he said he made it after.
I think you're right. All right.
did that
Again,
once.
recency bias. I'm taking, so Scott's taking the putters, which I didn't put this young
Cam
guy
Young
in.
is not a putter.
Putter. Okay, so whatever. I guess he's just going to do whatever he wants to do after he says he's going to do something else. I'm sticking with what I consider the two hottest players right now, and this one is Brooks Koepka.
Has he even played a real golf tournament?
Yes, he did. At Crooked Cat, where they used to have. Did you hear the Dustin? No, because you don't watch it. That's right.
No.
That's right. You're angry.
Crooked
Okay,
Cat,
Kailey,
that does not sound like a golf course.
Kailey, your last pick. I'm already got it penciled in. It's got to be.
Really? Oh, well, I might surprise you then. I really am picking this guy because I loved his fits last year at the Masters. And I also loved his full swing episode, Mr. Tony Finau.
Oh,
No.
Tony
Yeah.
is great.
He
does
won
well
the
there, but-
wardrobe last year.
He does the
No.
green on green on green, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah, but then he also did the like khaki pants with the navy and pink shirt that only he could pull off.
It's Nike apparel. It's all good.
There you go.
All right, Tone, final pick of the 2023 Club Pro
Mr.
Chatter
Irrelevant.
Masters
Mr. Irrelevant.
draft. There's so many good players left. I don't
Sandy
even know
Lyle's out there.
which
Larry
direction
Mize.
you're going. Freddie Couples, Sergio
Bernard Langer.
is on your list.
There was a guy I chose last year, multiple majors. I don't know if I can choose him again.
Oh, Xander. You love Xander.
No, Victor was the guy I chose.
Yeah,
Victor.
But I'm gonna say Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Fitzy.
Ooh. Fitzy.
He's never
Better
just
product.
never he missed the cut only once in the Masters, but since 16 he's never missed the cut. He's got pretty good finishes.
Okay, here's outside the top 16, you guys. Dustin Johnson. Nobody picked him. Hideki Matsuyama. Nobody picked him. Nobody picks Patrick Reed because you can't cheer for a cheater. Corey
Can't wait.
Connors just won the Valero. Nobody picked him. Xander. Nobody picks him. Tommy
Zalatoris.
Fleetwood. I was just going to say, Mr. Awesome Putter will. Even Kailey stayed away from him. I had the Z already written down.
She a big Zalatoris fan?
Sure.
You didn't know that?
Sure.
No.
Patrick Cantlay. I mean, Mr. Steady Eddie. And then Victor Hovland, who was already mentioned. None of those guys picked. And then Justin Rose was not picked either. But then again, that's just me if we went 10 deep in the draft. So anyways, good stuff, you guys. All right. We didn't put it down as state of the section this year. But Kailey, why don't you run down some PGA updates, some things that are up and coming as we get into April here. It's time to start signing up for some stuff.
Exactly.
I
The
believe you got
words,
something that Scotty's going to miss.
the words right out of my mouth. We are looking for everybody to start signing up for events. May is going to be a really fun month if we can golf, which I'm hoping we can. May 1st is our Luther kickoff series, also our spring meeting. So we'll have some information coming out about that soon. But along in May, we also have the cup matches against the MGA and the Twin Cities Open, which is going to be a really fun event this year.
Tone, defending champion captain.
Oh yeah, defending the title. We're gonna retain it. Here, hold on one second.
He's got the
Right
cup.
here.
Yes.
Oh, it's all blurry. There it goes, right there.
Well, because you went in and out real fast, so blurred up on us, but it's still, we get it. That's a nice win. Scotty is part of the winning team. Did you make the team for this?
Just
this year,
barely.
Scott?
Just barely.
Okay. Do they know about your injury?
The Captain T-Bone knows.
Can you sit yourself if it's like where you can't go?
I'm going to be fine, Greg.
Okay, but by the way, in that is the week after the Luther, somebody has a title to defend.
Back at Woodhill.
Mm-hmm.
Section championship was there, 5 years ago, I believe. So it'll be fun. Always good to see PK. Thanks for hosting, PK. Woodhill will be, I think I played a cup matches at Woodhill 10 plus years ago. So I love playing Woodhill. So that'll be fun to get. Greg, are you going to be able to play in the match play?
Non-committal right now. Life is, as I said, why we had a guest host at the golf show. Life is coming at me fast.
So it sounds like a yes, seeing as though you don't have golf team to coach this year. So, and it's not that far for you. Woodhill's an easy drive. West Metro.
Fast.
Oh,
Tone,
fast.
anything that you want to pump up on your end of stuff?
I'll just obviously if you're a member and you're interested in signing up for the match play, get in as soon as possible. That usually fills up. First 64 members in. If you're an associate interested in that event, you can sign up, but you'll be put on the wait list if we need to fill some spots. TCO, excited about that.
Let me stop you, Tone. Let me just stop you. What a great thing that has happened there. That years ago we were begging associates to get in because we just weren't filling it. And now we're to where we wanted to be. This should be a PGA member benefit. And then the apprentices, it should push them to go and get their stuff done. We need more of that. And I love it. So I just have to interject that. Kudos to both of you. I know, Scotty, you worked hard on this a bunch of years ago, and it's kind of gotten to where you want it now.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Not to steal Tone's thunder on pumping some things, but I think the state open this year at Oak Ridge, awesome facility. I think we'll have record numbers trying to qualify for that after the renovation there. And I looked at the qualifiers, Greg. It's kind of a Scott McDonald turn back the clock qualifier location. There's a Minnewaska Golf Club and a Faribault Golf Club in there.
If they would just add Summerby and Winsog Farm, we'd have you covered everywhere.
There's a preserve in there.
There's nothing for you there.
Oak Glen, Braemar, Victory Links, Highland National, and Last Chance at Bunker Hill. So actually some good variety of golf courses for that state open qualifier.
Tone, anything else? Anything you want to add about the Twin Cities Open?
I'll just say that's filled at 112, which would be our biggest field ever for that tournament. So it's good to see that's growing 3 years. And then, the State Open is probably going to be an exciting tournament. So qualifier numbers are getting up there already. So excited to see where that ends up.
Perfect.
Great.
All right. Anything else for the good of the order, you guys? Or season?
Do you know where the Twin Cities Open is this year?
Yeah, it's at Edina Country Club, my favorite golf course.
Do you think you could talk to Marty about getting me an invite into that Pro-Am that you and Tone and JD get to play in that nobody else gets to?
Actually, it's better than that. I've actually talked to Marty about not inviting you.
You got to give us a chance, Scott.
He knows, Tone, that I go, Scott, anybody on the top 10 of the money list, they are not invited to this event. It's period. That's boom, done.
I'll remind you the last time we were at Edina for an event, I did forget my golf clubs.
That's right.
So hopefully this time I'll remember them.
Don't worry.
There's going to be some play with the rental set.
There's going to be some jokes flying about that coming up for sure. Yes. All right. For Tone, Kailey, Scott, Greg Snow, glad to have you on board for another season. We'll be building a schedule and bringing you 6, 7, 8 of these guys, keeping you up to date on all things Minnesota section, all things tournament golf. And we're glad you're on board. Scotty, any final words?
Nope. Looking forward to seeing some grass sometime soon.
Good luck at the PPC April 30th. For Scott McDonald, I'm Greg Snow. Thanks for everybody. Have a great day.